Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. Today our group member will present about case study in geotechnical engineering. Before I start, I will introduce our group member. First, Muhammad Amirul bin Jafar, 01 DKA 21F1108. Muhammad Syam bin Hazim bin Ahmad Azrani, 01 DKA 21F1109. Irfan Haziq bin Halim, 01 DKA 21F1125. Muhammad Nazmi Reza, 01 DKA 21F1124. Definition of slope. The slope is an inclined ground surface which can be either natural or human. Stability refers to the condition that an inclined slope can withstand its own weight and external force without experiencing displacement. Slope stability uses principles of soil mechanics, geotechnical engineering, and engineering geology. A study that involved the behavior of slope have led to an improved understanding of slope stability mechanics, the development of complex quantitative model, the recognition of laboratory and in situ testing limitation, and the evolution of new instrumentation technique to assess the slope response. Next, I want to present about types of slope failure. Number one, translational slide. Translation failure occur in the case of infinite slope, and here the failure surface is parallel to the slope surface. Slope is to be infinite when the slope has no definite boundaries, and so under the free surface contain the same properties up to identical depth along the slope. As said above, when the soil along the slope has similar properties up to the certain depth and soil below this layer is strong or hard stratum, the weak topsoil will form a parallel slip surface when failed. This type of failure can be observed in slope of layer, material, or natural slope formation. In number two, rotational slide. In the case of rotational failure, the failure occurs by rotational along a slip surface and shape those obtained in slip surface is curved. Face surface more outward and downward. In homogeneous soil, the shape is circular, while in case of non-homogeneous soil, it is non-circular. Number three, fault. Usually associated with short-term failure of steep slope, usually in road with vertical joint. As the lateral support is removed, bulging occurs at the slope foot and tension crack open behind its crest, usually along the pre-existing fissure. This leads to progressive increase of stress in the root of the separating mass and to the eventual collapse. The process is frequently accelerated by water entering the tension crack. The last, floor. Floor or mass movement in which there are no well-defined failure plane. Skipton and Hutchinson differentiate between earth floors and mud floor. The latter are glacier-like in form, whereas the former are considered to be transitional in character between the slide and mud floor.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Nazmi Reza, and I will explain about factor causes a slope failure. The manner in which a slope fails is chiefly controlled by the following factors. The first one is geological. Next, hydrological, topographical, climatic conditions, and the last one is extent of weathering of rocks or soils. Okay, next, methods to preservation and conservation of slope. First, afforestation. Increased forest cover is the most effective technique to conserve soil. Tree felling should be halted indiscriminately, and efforts should be undertaken to establish trees in new locations. A minimum area of forest land for the entire nation that is deemed healthy for soil and water conservation is between 20% and 25%, but it was less than 33% in the second 5-year plan, with 20% for plains and 60% for hilly and mountainous region. Number 2, checking overgrazing. Grazing is fairly essential. However, overgrazing of woods and grassland by animals, particularly herds and flocks of sheep and goats, should be strictly controlled. Separate grazing lands can be designated. Alternative fodder crops should be planted in greater amount. Number 3, constructing dams. One of the scientific approaches for controlling soil erosion by erecting dams across rivers. Soil erosion, which is exacerbated by river flows, can be prevented. Water speed may be measured, which significantly reduce soil erosion. For changing agricultural practice, we can save a lot of our valuable soil by bringing about certain change in our agricultural practice. Roughly, the context is described below. Strip cropping. Parallel to one another, crops may be cultivated in alternate strips. Some strips may be allowed to lie fallow, while in other different crops may be some small tree crops, grain, grass legumes. Uh, Numerous yield ripen at diverse times of the year and are harvested at intervals. This very method gives surety that at no time of the year the entire area is left bare or exposed. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Irfan Hatib bin Halim from DCC30112 FM. Today I will show to you about analysis of daily data. This is the data I will use. Okay. And this is the last data of the city of undisturbed soil sample. Then we will continue about determine moisture content of disturbed and undisturbed soil sample. For A is 11.41 100 divided by 103.21. We get 11%. Then for B is 11.76 times 100 divided by 170.23. We get 10%. Then for C it is 11.13 times 100 divided by 90 plus 15. Then we get 12%. Lastly, determine the density of undisturbed sample. Volume of cylinder 22 times 2 square times 8.3 divided by 7, we get 104.343. Therefore, density is 183.12 divided by 104.343, we get 1.756 GC centimeter square.
Okay, today I will explain about treasure test. What is a treasure test? Treasure test is a typical test involved confining a cylindrical soil or rock specimen in a pressurized cell to simulate a stress condition and then shearing to failure in order to determine the shear strength properties of the sample. Most treasure tests are performed on high quality undisturbed specimen. So how we analyze treasure? As you can see, we got cell pressure, deviation stress, and major stress. Cell pressure plus deviator stress, and you can get the major stress. As you can see, major stress calculation 20 plus 190, we get 210. 90 plus 150, and we got 240. 235 plus 195, we get 430. After calculate the major stress, you need to plot the graph, which is shear stress against normal stress. And the friction is 0, and and our cohesion is 90 degree.
So this is the graph for stability of slope. For radius, we get 9 centimeter. For diameter, we get 4.5 centimeter. Then the angle is 90 and 65 Then for area is 50 times 4, then we get 60 meter. Thank you.
Last but not least is conclusion. According to the finding of this study, implementing human reliability analysis in slope construction to decrease the possibility of mistake holistically is recommended. The statistics also show that regardless of whether the slope safety factor is large or low, there is always the potential of instability if the risk of failure due to human uncertainties is not handled properly.